This video is brought to you by GreenManGaming. Click the link below if you want to see some amazing deals on some incredible games. Every purchase goes towards supporting the channel. Gaming backlogs are an absolute pain in everybody's arse, especially if you own things like Steam. You know, Steam do incredible sales and everything just goes down to a low price, and there's also other storefronts like GreenManGaming that also do sales, but backlogs are very common. Everyone falls into the trap of buying way too many games to play, and I'm no different. Currently in my backlog, I have exactly 200 games in my backlog, and I have another category called Another Time Backlog, and there's 53 games in that, so I've got 253 games in my backlog. But that's why I'm making this series, you know, it's just constant content for you guys, and it gives me an excuse to talk about and rate random games that I've played, even if I didn't enjoy them and I dropped them, you know. I still want to give every game in my backlog a fair shot, even if I don't like them. Most of them I do like though, especially the first one, that being Metro 2033. Now, I'm a very strange person because I played Metro Exodus before 2033. Seems to be a trend with me, you know, I played Metal Gear Solid 5 and then I played Metal Gear Solid 3 then too, before beating the first one, which a lot of people are giving me shit for, and rightfully so, and I should get shit for not playing Metro 2033 before Exodus, because, I don't know, there was something about 2033 that really put me off. For starters, the PC port is a bit iffy, it's very old, it runs fine, don't get me wrong, like, it runs flawlessly and it can run on about any system nowadays, even though it looks pretty good for its time. The biggest problem was the FOV. You need to go into the game's files and like adjust a .txt file to make it a bearable FOV, because if you don't, you're gonna get a headache because it's 65, and the only people who play games at 65 FPS are genuine psychopaths. I don't know anyone who does it. It's what they do to prisoners to punish them. They make them play first-person shooters at 65 FPS so they constantly suffer from a headache, and I feel bad for anyone who plays these games on console because there's no workaround there. But yeah, Metro 2033. If you don't already know, Metro is a game set within, well, a metro, and it's set in a post-apocalyptic world where the surface is basically uninhabitable, so everyone has just moved down to the metro tunnels, and just like any normal society, they all get split up, they all have different political views, and they go to war with each other because no one can just get along nowadays. And it's no different in Metro. So you play as a guy called Artyom, and you basically go out to send a message from a guy called Hunter, who I think we're going to be playing as in 2039. His only appearance is in like the beginning of this game, which makes me very intrigued in how 2039 is going to be. But this journey of basically sending this message sends us on this huge adventure full of absolute horrors and a lot of war, a lot of fighting. There are Nazis in this game, and there are also communists, and obviously they don't get along all too well. And there's this really good mission where you actually have to, you disguise yourself as a communist and you go onto like the front lines of this war within one of the sections of the tunnel, and you need to sneak your way into the middle of the war and get past the Nazi troops to get to where you need to go. And I don't know if you're supposed to do this sneakily, but I got caught pretty quickly, and I just absolutely blazed my way through that like I was BJ Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein. I was mowing down Nazis left and right, and I felt cool as hell, and I don't even know if I was supposed to be doing that, but it felt really cool. Something I really like about 2033 compared to Exodus, which is the only other one that I've played so far, 2033 feels more like a horror game than an action game, despite what I just said. Resources feel way tighter in this one than Exodus. Like, you're gonna be running out of ammo in quite a lot of your weapons, especially if you're missing a lot of your shots, and there are times where you may even need to use the currency as ammo, you know. Sometimes you gotta pull out those little golden bullets and use them, and they're usually very desperate times, and you will have some of them, especially if you want to kill one of those birds, you know, the demons on the surface. Oh yeah, the surface. Sometimes you have to go out onto the surface, which obviously requires a gas mask, and these sections are horrible. Not in like a badly designed horrible way, I mean like they're horrifying, they're terrifying. If you're not undercover, one of these flying specimens called the demons will pick you up and just throw you down somewhere, taking off like half of your health. Oh, and there's also this bit near the end where you go into this library type place, and you have to go into this big building, and there's these big gorilla fellas called the librarians. It's just, if you've played the game, you already know why I hate these things. Now, 2033 isn't perfect. There's a bit of jank, you know, it was the first game from 4A Games in the Metro series, and yeah, there's a lot of weird design choices. There's this bit near the end where you're in this like big shaft, and there's these anomalies which are like amoebas. I think they're called amoebas, and they're just like green balls that just kind of explode on impact, and they're not very fun to go against. It doesn't help that I was really low on ammo at this point as well, so I kind of just had to like really take my time fighting green bogeys basically. It wasn't very fun, but hey, it's a small issue in overall a very good game, which I got the bad ending, but supposedly that's the canon ending anyway, so I'm not really too bothered about that. I killed a lot of people, man. You know, I think that's what impacts the ending. But yeah, I enjoyed Metro 2033, and I'm excited to start Last Light. Now, the next game I want to talk about is Rise of the Ronin. Now, this is one of the few occasions where I gotta say that I'm disappointed with Team Ninja. This is a game that just didn't do it for me, and it's happened twice now. I didn't really enjoy Wolong Fallen Dynasty either. Something about these two games, they don't feel right. Like, they feel like they're trying to work off the formula of the Neo games, but just failing to do so. Like, they are trying new things with Wolong, you know, that's more focused on the parrying, and Rise of the Ronin is more focused on the open world, and yeah, I guess just the open world. It also has parrying. They weren't really that adventurous, I'm not gonna lie. But out of Wolong and Rise of the Ronin, I would say I prefer Rise of the Ronin, but not by much. I think it's just because the cats are collectibles in that game, and I like cats. Cats are funny little creatures. So Rise of the Ronin is an open world game set in feudal Japan, and it is so boring. I'm sorry to say, man. They had so much going for them here. I mean, it's a Team Ninja game. These guys are like the king of when it comes to combat and gameplay. They made Ninja Gaiden. Like, do I really need to say anything else about that? They made Ninja Gaiden, and they still fucked this one up somehow. So yeah, it's an open world game, and it's set in feudal Japan. Feudal Japan, in my opinion, is probably one of the most boring settings. It's overdone. Even when this game came out, it was overdone. It was overdone years ago. I mean, do you guys remember E3 2018? They announced Ghost of Tsushima, Neo 2, and Sekiro all at the same time. Like, guys, come on. There's enough feudal Japan games. Let's move on to something else. When you set a game in fucking Yorkshire from the United Kingdom, I fucking love Yorkshire. Alright, no, I'm sorry. Fucking stupid. Yeah, I actually don't really know what to say about Rise of the Ronin. Like, it has the same formula as a Neo game. You make your own character, they're silent, you're put into this world. Except the only difference is the world basically acts as the map from Neo. Like, it's still a loot-based game. There's still loot that drops from enemies, except all the enemies are humans. There's no like yokai or demons, like cool monsters that make you feel intimidated. It's just blokes. You just fight a bunch of blokes, and they have different weapons ranging from katanas to big katanas to rifles. Yeah, rifles are in this game. I don't know why. Well, it's the time period, isn't it? It's the history and all that shit. I don't care. I didn't really enjoy Rise of the Ronin all too much. I thought it was very monotonous. The levels themselves were pretty dull and uninspired as well. And luckily, when Team Ninja made Neo 3, they took the same approach as Rise of the Ronin, making it more open world focused. But they made the smart decision of making it more open zones rather than one big open world, which it just works so much better. It's so much nicer. It's much easier to traverse too. It gets rid of the whole having a horse crutch to go in a direction for a really long period of time to get to a waypoint shit. You can just walk to places in Neo 3, or run really fast, because yeah, that's one of the game mechanics. You can just run really fast, so you don't need a horse. But yeah, after Neo 3, it makes me more optimistic for a Rise of the Ronin 2, but currently, as it stands, Rise of the Ronin isn't all too good. It also looks ugly as hell as well, and it ran like shit when it came to PC, so you know, it just all stacks together, and it just isn't all too good of a game. The glide is pretty cool though, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't really save the game from being boring as hell. The next game I want to talk about is Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about recent games in the Backlog series because recent games technically aren't in the Backlog, but I'm going to break the rules a bit here because I want to talk about it. I know I already made like a review on this channel, like a first impressions type video, but I've actually beaten it now, and I gotta say, I still prefer Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but I do get why people love Assassin's Creed Black Flag now. This game, it just has so much sauce to it. It is the best pirate game ever made, hands down. It's better than Pirate Yakuza. I like Pirate Yakuza, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag is just so much more consistent with the quality, and the pirate stuff doesn't feel tacked on at all. It works really well for the narrative, the exploration, just the setting as a whole. Like, it is a gorgeous game that is so much fun to explore on your pirate ship and just parkouring around to an extent. One problem Black Flag has is it obviously falls into the Ubisoft open world trapping, where all of it looks really fun and really nice on the surface in terms of its open world, but when you start playing it and start digging a little deeper, it's pretty boring, it's pretty monotonous. And I remember, I think about around the 10-hour mark, I completely gave up like searching for anything in the open world. I just got sick of it. It was just really boring. It's just a checklist open world that looks nice, and yeah, that's every Ubisoft open world game ever made. I don't know what else to really say about that one, but I mean, you know, it was from 2013. It was one of the first few that took the Far Cry 3 formula and kept using it over and over again. A benefit is though, the story is very good in Black Flag. It starts off very strong. You play as Edward Kenway, who isn't even an assassin. He's just a random pirate who steals the clothes of an assassin who was actually going to betray the assassins and join the Templars and sell them all out, which Edward follows through with for some reason, and it fucks up the assassins, and he goes through this arc of like redeeming himself for that and joining the assassins. And I can't lie, at the midpoint in the game it does get a bit monotonous. The story is kind of just like time jumpy and just whatever, but then in like the last act it just ramps up in quality. It gets so engaging, and I really liked the ending of this game. I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. It's not amazing, it's a Ubisoft game, but it's one of the good ones, you know? Ubisoft can make good games sometimes, even though this is just a remake of a 2013 game, because anything new they make is just gonna be pretty dog shit. Why they're remaking Rayman as well, because they know if they make a new one it will probably be crap. But yeah, I like Black Flag. I understand other people love it, but I still prefer Syndicate, which is a crime to a lot of people for some reason. Now, the next game I want to talk about is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Now, I don't know if this is a controversial take when it comes to Modern Warfare 2019, but I do not like this game. I fucking hate this game. I genuinely hate it. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I fucking hate this game. I got it for a deep discount on one of the Steam sales. I think it was the winter sale. I got it for like £5, which is a steal for a Call of Duty game. You know, Activision, they're pretty stingy with the pricing of these terrible games. And yeah, this one isn't very good. And playing through it made me realize why I don't really like Call of Duty campaigns as a whole. These games have the mission structure of a Rockstar game, but without the open world to accommodate for that linear shitty mission structure, if you get what I mean. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in a lot of modern Rockstar games, if you try and have the ounce of creative fun in any of their missions, that's a fail. You gotta restart from a checkpoint, you gotta play it the way that they want you to. And Call of Duty is no different. If you step out of line even slightly in Modern Warfare 2019, Captain Price is like, "Oh, soldier, where are you going? Oh, Captain Price, fucking you, we'll go back here." Is that how he talks? I don't remember how he talks. I think that was Australian. But either way, there's all of these different missions, and even when they try and make it more open-ish, they give you like 2 objectives in this little open area where there's some enemies patrolling, and you get to just shoot them, I guess, or stealth them. It's pretty basic stuff. And yeah, you know, this would be fine in a lot of games if the story was interesting or engaging. I wouldn't say Modern Warfare 2019 is either of those things. I could not tell you anything that I remember from the story of this game. Hell, I don't remember anything from any of the Call of Duty campaigns I've played story-wise. I've played Modern Warfare 2, I've played Black Ops 1, I've played Black Ops 2, I've played Black Ops 3, I've played Advanced Warfare, I've played Infinite Warfare, I've played World War 2, I've played Black Ops Cold War. Couldn't tell you a single thing about any of them. And I beat Modern Warfare 2019, and at the end of it, I was just kind of like, wow, that was the longest 5 hours of my entire life. That was absolute shit. And I get why people only get these games for the multiplayer multiplayer. But hey, that's just my opinion. If you do enjoy this, you know, don't let me take away from that. You know, people like different things. It's just I like to play first-person shooter games where the main character isn't uncontrollably shaking with every single shot they fire. Oh, I also got Modern Warfare 2 at a deep discount in the most recent summer sale on Steam, so excited to cover that one in the next backlog video. The next game I want to talk about is Shin Megami Tensei 5. So I've put around 15 hours into Shin Megami Tensei 5, and I think that is enough time to give my thoughts on what I think about this game, because I think it's going to be pretty consistent throughout it, and I'm having a lot of fun with this one. You know, I'm really glad that I decided to finally push myself and play a big JRPG, and it's really paying off because it's really nice, you know, coming back after work and just sitting down and playing something like this. Well, something that, well, I do need to think about the combat, because, you know, it's a turn-based game. You got to think about what you're going to use. It's not like intensive, if you get what I mean. So Shin Megami Tensei 5 is a turn-based JRPG, and it's by Atlas, the people behind Persona, and I really like Persona 5. Persona 5 was a very good game. I did drop Persona 3 Reload. I spoke about that in an older backlog video for many reasons, but I don't dislike that game. And Shin Megami Tensei 5 is one that I don't think I'll be dropping either, because this game is a lot of fun. It actually does quite a lot of things better than the Persona games. For one, it feels more relaxed in terms of the fact there's no time limit. Now, I know the time limit does enhance Persona games, you know, there's that imminent threat of you need to get through a dungeon or a palace within that time frame before, well, it's a game over, or you need to do certain things and you need to think about who you're talking to throughout the day. But you don't really have any of like the monotonous shit in between like palaces in Shin Megami Tensei 5, because you are just kind of put into like a dungeon that's massive and you can take as long as you want, and there's a bunch of exploration. Like the first dungeon is this destroyed version of Tokyo. It's just covered in sand everywhere and there's demons roaming about. And what I like is there's no random encounters, which Persona also doesn't have, but you know, random encounters, they were a thing in the older Shin Megami Tensei games, which I heard are some of the most unfair games ever made. But yeah, you can see the demons roaming around, and it really allows you to appreciate the design of a lot of these things. Some of them look freaky as hell, and something I really enjoy about Shin Megami Tensei 5 is you can kind of capture these guys to have them fight on your side by talking to them mid-fight, and depending on like the demon's mythology determines on how you should speak to them. There was one that asked if I was the top, bottom, or middle, and it kind of took me aback. I was like, what the why is this demon asking me? So I said I was a middle, and yeah, it said like that's where you want to be eaten from first, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. They ask weird questions. The demons are fucking weird in this game, but they're fun to fight, and they're fun to have fight on your side because there's so many different synergies with these. You know, a big focus of the combat is elemental weaknesses, and just like Persona, if you land an elemental weakness on an enemy, you get an extra turn, and you want to stack these as much as you can because this game can kick your ass. It can be tough at times, which probably pretty insane to say because this is the easier Shin Megami Tensei game. I want to play that Nocturne one at some point, and I feel like I will end up dropping that one because it looks hard as hell, but I want to try it. Also, it has Dante from the Devil May Cry series in it. That's what it says on the box art. But yeah, the open areas of the dungeons in Shin Megami Tensei 5, there's a lot of secrets to find. There's some small platforming puzzles. There's even these grind rails straight out of Ratchet and Clank that take you to random areas and also create shortcuts back to save points. It's just a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. The only gripe I have with this game is the saving system. There's no auto saves, so if you accidentally run into like a super boss you're not supposed to fight yet and you can't escape and it just one-shots you, that's a few hours of progress gone if you didn't save, so get fucked, I guess. That's my only issue with it. Oh, and the characters aren't really that interesting. That's something Persona has over this game. I found the characters much more interesting. I thought they had way better personalities in that game. They're pretty flat in this one. They're just kind of like, I couldn't tell you a single thing about any of them. But they drive the plot forward, so it doesn't really matter all too much. It's still got a pretty interesting story. But yeah, I like Shin Megami Tensei 5, and I'm excited to play more of it. Now, before I finish this backlog series, I want to talk about another game I 100%ed, which, you know, treasured these moments, fellas. They're gonna be rare in these backlog videos. And this one was actually a DLC, that being the Doom the Dark Ages Revelations DLC. And all I can say is, you gotta play this DLC. Even if you didn't like Doom the Dark Ages and only really like Eternal, do yourself a favor and play this DLC. It is so good. It is one of the best Doom things we've ever got, ever. Like, I can't express enough how good it is. It is so good. I don't even want to spoil anything. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I don't know, man. There's so much content here. You know, you've got the main missions, which in my review I said there's only 4, but they're like the scale of the Blood Swamps, which is the best Doom Eternal level ever. Hell, I would even say it's the best Doom level ever. The Blood Swamps are amazing, and these levels in this DLC rival that. And they get even bigger when you get to the end game, because there are entire areas you can't access until you get a key from beating the final boss. And then within those areas there are challenges like the original Doom levels, combat challenges, and then you get this key to fight this super boss, which I'm not going to spoil, and it is hard as hell. And then when you beat that boss, you unlock even more content with the master arenas, which have armored archviles. These guys are evil, and it is such a shame that a lot of them got laid off when this DLC came out. I hope they find work soon, because this DLC is incredible, and you got to play it for yourself. Genuinely have to play it for yourself, and it was so much fun to 100%. I actually have zero bad things to say about 100%ing this. It was so good. Thank you guys so much for watching this backlog video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all enjoyed the food you were eating whilst watching. Yep, I know some of you eat food while watching this. I want this to be the #1 go-to series on YouTube to have your dinner to. That is my goal. Just the perfect thing to put on whilst you eat your dinner. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. You all know the drill. Let me know in the comments what games you've been playing in your backlog. Did you drop them? Did you enjoy them? Or are you still playing them right now? I'd love to know. And with that, huge thank you to GreenManGaming, the sponsors of this channel. It's my go-to place to buy Steam games, and they do so many incredible deals and bundles. Currently, they have a bundle for boomer shooters right now. You can get stuff like Dusk, and Medieval, and the underrated Postal Brain Damaged for $10, and that's not including the extra games you get with it. It's like a bunch of games. It's good. If you've been burnt by Humble Bundle, you know, GreenManGaming do them as well as many amazing deals. So thank you to them for supporting me. Click the link below if you want to check them out, and with that, I want to give a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I've just recently shown you a sneak peek of my Devil May Cry 3 video, which will be going out this month. It might even be out by the time this video goes out. I might be wrong, but I'm hoping it will be. The same goes for my channel members. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I don't know who sticks around for this point in the video to like listen to what I'm saying, but if you're here right now, I want you to just comment the word Bojangles in the comments, and I'll just heart it with no context, and hopefully no one understands, because I can't imagine many people stick around this long to hear what I'm saying at the end of the video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting me. I'm going to be having a big update sometime soon, which will increase the amount of content I can produce. It's a very big update. I'm very excited to make that update video, so stay tuned for that, fellas, and I'll see you all in the next one.